This is recorded, but welcome to the Builders Call. Happy Friday to everybody. November 18th, 2022. We're fast approaching the end of the year. And, today is going to be all about you guys getting to know one of my favorite human beings in EXP. For those, most of you already know who Gene Frederick is, but if you guys don't, he's been in the business, a year or two, newer in the business. Just kidding. He's been around the game. Keller Williams, in the 80s and even earlier on. And I know he's going to share his specific story, but Gene Frederick, interesting enough, a lot of us, we just moved companies. That's what we did. We moved companies and came over to this company called EXP. But Gene's story is very, very interesting because not only did he just move himself, he had to sell a region and also 6 offices within that region. And he was deeply connected to leadership and in the Keller Williams system. I mean, you talk about, when you're thinking about talking to people about this opportunity, I don't think anybody that I've actually spoken to has sold a region and 6 offices. So very, very impressed. He's also in the Hall of Fame team leader, for Keller Williams, him and his wife, Susan. But maybe you guys know this, maybe you guys don't. But when I did my due diligence about EXP, I spoke to Rick, I spoke to Brent Gove, as you guys already know as well. My last conversation was actually with Gene. And when I spoke to Gene, he really brought it home for me. His wisdom, his confidence, his energy, everything he brought forward, really gave me confidence to move forward with this company 4 years ago. So I don't know if you knew that or not, Gene, but thank you so much for really changing my life, man, giving me that confidence to move forward. And now that decision has impacted, almost 2,000 lives now from that one conversation. So I'm just extremely grateful for you. All of the conversations that we've had, right? You put you in a lot of different conversations. So you guys are in for a treat, guys. Take notes, bring your full attention to this conversation. Without further ado, let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Gene Frederick. Thank you so much for being
here. Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Leo, my friend. I appreciate it. Hey, guys. Hey, Angel, how are you? Patty, Belia. I'm just reading off names, but I love to see faces. Thank you guys very much for putting faces on if you can. Good guys. Patty, what a pleasure. Here's what I want you guys to do today. It's 2:00 in the afternoon, my time, Puerto Rico, right? I live in Puerto Rico, one hour ahead of East Coast. You guys it's just the morning. Write down any question you want to ask me today. I've only been recruiting real estate agents since 1989. Okay, most of you weren't born, but 1989 is when I started recruiting real estate agents. I had my own firm in 1989 to 1994, built that up to a couple hundred agents. I sold it, went to Keller Williams. I was at Keller Williams for 21 years. If you guys have anybody in the Keller Williams system you want me to talk to, Susan and I are a good one to hook up with. We were team leaders. I was a team leader for 12 years in 2 different offices, and I was a regional director for 20 years. So I wanted to give you my background because a lot of times you guys are afraid to call the top people at Coldwell Banker or Century 21 or Remax or KW. Call them. Guys, in 21 years, listen to this, Leo, you're not going to believe it. 21 years, I was the #1 recruiter for Keller Williams 6 times. Nobody from another company called me. Let that sink in. You ought to write that down. Nobody from another company called me the whole 21 years I was with KW. I thought, do they not want me? What am I doing wrong? I'm getting up on stage every time, but we're afraid to call the top people. Write it down. You guys ought to call the top people first in your market. Literally, the #1 manager that gets the manager of the year every year for Coldwell Banker or Compass or whatever, call them. Get in relationship with them. It's not about, I wish somebody would have done that to me from EXP. By the way, nobody did that to me from EXP. It was one of our agents, Elizabeth Riley is my sponsor. Thank her tremendously. She said, go check out this company. I checked out the company in 2014. 2014 was when I met Glenn. And by the way, I only met Glenn and Jason. I met 2 people at EXP, 2. and I made the decision to come in 2015, there were 400 agents here. Okay. I'm going to give you guys some stats that you can use. And then I'm going to go over some stuff. And I want you guys to write down any question you want to ask me today, because this is your call. I want to make sure you don't leave the call today thinking, crap, I would have asked him that. Because I've been recruiting agents since 1989. It is my skill set. It's what I used to train. I used to train the Keller Williams team leaders on how to recruit. I did that for 6 years. So bottom line is, don't ask me to sell homes. I'm sorry, I'm not as good as you guys. I can't write a contract. But I can tell you, I can show you how to recruit agents. It's a different skill set than taking listings or working with buyers. I've got to teach you a different skill set. Gosh, what was I going to say? I don't even know Leo anymore. What was I going to say? I can't even remember.
You were talking about the, hey, if they need contract stuff, that's not the conversation today.
I'm stupid. I can't even write a contract. So a lot of people go, well, you don't sell real estate. I said, I know I don't sell real estate, but let me tell you this, next year, and I'll be real with all you guys, you probably already make goals for your sales for next year. You need to right now make goals for how many agents you're going to recruit next year and how big your team's going to grow. It's going to be the most important thing you do. Here's why. This is my fourth downturn. My fourth downturn. I don't mind saying downturn. I know what's going on in California. I know that it's slowed down. I know it's slowed down everywhere. Guess what? In the next 2 years, I think will be the best time to recruit agents ever. Here's why. When the downturn happens, who do you think they blame? Do they blame themselves when the market gets tough? They blame that company, baby. They blame that company, Coldwell Banker, whatever. So what I want you guys to do, it's the best time. The next 6 months to a year will be prime season because agents will talk to you. Write it down. They'll talk to you now. They'll meet with you belly to belly. They have time. So what I want you to do is write down your goals for next year. It'll be more important to recruit 20 agents than get 20 listings. Believe me. You think, well, I'm going to get 20 listings next year. Well, I'd rather recruit 20 agents who will all recruit 2. Now you're at 60. And then the next year, that 60 will turn into almost 300. Then that 300 will turn into 600. And within 4 years, you'll be at 1,000. Problem is, you got to get the first 20. Okay? If you don't get the first 20, nothing happens. Hey, how many people right now, raise your hand. I can't see everybody, but raise your hand if you have a big list you can show me of agents you're recruiting. Do you have a list? Okay. This is number one. This is recruiting 101. You need to write down everybody you're going to recruit next year right now. That list is going to grow because what I'm going to teach you to do today, that list is going to grow, but you need to write them down and carry them with you all the time. When I first met Brent Gove, I got to tell you guys, it was hysterical. I've been here a year and a half. I met Brent Gove. I went out to Sacramento to help him recruit. And he goes, Gene, and he shows me his notebook. And it was just filled with names. He goes, these are the people I'm recruiting. I said, dude, here's my notebook. Here's the people I'm recruiting. Us recruiters all work the same. If you have a bigger list than me, you'll recruit more. If you have a smaller list, it just doesn't work. So here's what I'm going to give you guys. I want you to write these down. I told Leo I was going to do this. I don't know if you guys have heard me do it before. You probably haven't because it's wrinkled up. I wrote it on a newspaper, not a newspaper, on a plane a couple weeks ago. These are the 7 ways I want you to recruit, to not recruit agents, but to find agents. Recruiting agents, we'll talk about that in a little bit, but you guys have to get a big list of agents to talk to, right? I mean, if you don't have a list of 500 people right now, it's too small. You got to get it to 100 quick. So you go, how do I find those people? Number 1, write it down. Any real estate transaction. Doesn't have to be a contract. It could be an offer. It could be a meeting at an open house. Anytime you contact another real estate agent, I want you to put them on your file. They're going to be dripped on and we're going to look at it. Okay. Number 2, all your affiliates, guys, real estate affiliates, write it down. Mortgage, title. I've started offices for Keller Williams in new areas. I went to Sacramento in 1999. And all I did was go to title companies and say, who are the top 25 people I should talk to? They gave them to me. I'd call them. It was amazing. Now, you guys don't know the top up and comers at your other companies. You don't know. You could pull your MLS and they still don't show up. They could be selling new homes. They could be selling homes off the market. They might not even show up in the MLS. So you need to contact your affiliates and say, give me your good ones. Give me your good ones. I didn't ask, give me the unhappy ones. Give me your good ones, because I love it when they're happy at the other company. The other thing you can do is ask everybody you know who's the realtors they know. I'm just serious. Everybody you run into, who's your realtor? Write their name down. It's number 2. Number 3, real estate schools. I don't know what you can do, Leo, in California or the areas you're at, but there's 3 things you should do. I dominated the real estate schools when I was with Keller Williams. I could recruit 15 to 20 agents every month from the real estate schools in Texas because I could do luncheons. I could go to lunches once a week, do a presentation. If you can't do lunches in your area because they won't allow you, teach at the real estate schools. That's a beautiful way to get them. Become a teacher. And then the third way I would do it with real estate schools is I would buy one. I would own a real estate school. Seriously, start an online real estate school. Number 4, guys, this is probably the easiest way to do it. You can warm text everybody. Texting's the way to go, right? Hardly anybody calls anymore, but I don't call it a cold text. I call it a warm text. They're a realtor, you're a realtor. Hey, you're just warm texting. How's it going? What's going on in the market? You want to hear something exciting I'm doing? Boom, they call you. What's exciting? Oh my gosh, this EXP thing, I can't believe it. It's crazy, okay? The other thing I would do on number 4 is open houses. If you're good one-on-one, I know Leo's good one-on-one. I've met Leo. Leo, I'm a one-on-one guy. I would go into open houses all day long. What I'm doing? Well, I'm pretending like I'm looking for clients, but I want to meet another agent with energy. Write that down. If they don't have good energy, they don't excite you, don't write them down. Number 5, social media. I want you guys, Mike Sherrard, write down the name Mike Sherrard. Go. These people have dominated social media. They will share with you everything they're doing, okay? You can do it social media. Number 6, become part of a group. Become part of a group. What do I mean by that? Are you a Ferriot? Tom Ferry, Buffini, Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone. Go to these events and be part of that group. Because guess what? The other agents that are part of that group, you're talking the same language. If you like to go to NAR, WCR, any of those, become part of a group. I have one buddy that he's part of a wine group. They go to Europe. He goes, it's unbelievable, Gene. I've recruited more agents on my wine trips than I have anywhere because we all love wine. You know, become part of the poker club or whatever you want to do. Become part of something and meet other agents. And number 7, you're all going to do number 7. Circle number 7. You're all going to do number 7. Really, you're going to pick 1 through 6.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Here's what's going to happen. Oops, somebody's up.
Sorry about that.
Sorry about that. It's okay. You're going to pick 1 and 6 and write this down. You're going to nail it. You're going to dominate it. I want you to pick 1. And here's the thing. I want you to pick 1 that gives you energy. That gives you energy. I could go into open houses all day. Why? Because I'm a one-on-one person. It gives me energy to meet another person, right? I like to do presentations at real estate schools. That gave me energy. I wish I could do one of those every single day because the more presentations I did, the more energy I got. This will become easy to do if you pick 1 of the 6 that give you energy. And then number 7, anytime somebody joins your team in your first or second level, and you're going to teach the people on your first and second level to do it to their other people, is that you're going to ask them for the top 25 people you want to help them recruit. So now they're going to write down the 25 names they know through their relationships at their company or other that they want to recruit, and you're going to help warm text them for them, and you're going to get in relationship. Okay. Everybody's got to do number 7. If you don't do number 7, it's not repetitive, guys. What's going to happen is you'll recruit a lot of people and you won't teach them how to get other people. So those are the 6 ways basically to try to generate unbelievable amount. Now, again, I'm talking to the normal real estate agent. If you've been a coach, if you're Tim and Julie Harris and you've been coaching agents for 20 years, I mean, they've got an advantage, right? They've already got a built-in 5,000 people they're dealing with, right? I've talked to some coaches. Grant Cardone's wife is with us, right? Don't look at those situations because they're so rare, because there's very few people. I did not come with anything. I was retired for a year when I came to EXP. I went back to my basics. I started meeting people 3 a day. Now let's get down to what you should do. Number one, for everybody on this call, you got to have at least one conversation a day with an agent. If you're good one-on-one, I'd meet them belly to belly. I'd go to the same place, and I wouldn't go all over town. I'd make sure they come to you. Why do you want them to come to you? If you drive an hour and you're in their office, they could have a listing presentation they got to do 2 hours from now. Have them come to you at a coffee shop or somewhere neutral if you can. I had 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I only did it for 3 years. That's all. Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I took off. Just so you know, I was very, very consistent. As you guys know, in anything in real estate, you got to be consistent. You got to know what your schedule is. Here's the hardest thing. I'm running into agents like, okay, Gene, now I want to get into recruiting. I said, cool. When are you going to fit it in? They go, what do you mean? Where's your schedule? Show me your schedule, or you have 2 hours that you're going to meet somebody and talk to them, or text agents, or lead generate, or something. You've got a time block. I would time block 10 hours a week. 10 hours a week. Guys, you just got a time block. I wasn't selling homes. Did I have an advantage? Yeah, but I didn't work 20 hours a day. I just worked 10 o'clock till 5 o'clock, went home, right? I was very consistent. And if somebody didn't show up, guess what I did? Just text people, hey, when can we meet this week? Call people, hey, when can we meet this week? And you always set the appointment for like 2 or 3 days out. Don't give them a week out, give it 2 or 3 days out. Realtors are very finicky, right? All of a sudden there's an inspection and they got to cancel the appointment.
Yeah.
If that hasn't happened to you guys, just so you know, you're not recruiting. I had one happen just the other day, yesterday. The guy says, oh my gosh, her kid got sick. She had to go. I said, no problem. Send me her information. I will text her and say I was sorry we missed it. Can't wait to meet with you again. He followed up with her. I followed up with her. I don't even know her, right? But it's a warm person. She's a realtor. She's a manager for another real estate company. Guess what? I was a manager for Keller Williams for 12 years, plus 20 years as a regional director. So I can talk to those folks. So any questions? I'm going to open it up now to, that's kind of my spiel for the day. I mean, I want to get into the nitty gritty, what you guys are, what's keeping you from performing at a high level the next 6 months.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, floor is yours, guys. Any questions you guys have for Gene? This is the reason why EXP is where it's at. I would say 90% of the entire company is under Gene Frederick. So any questions you guys want to ask him about the recruiting process, floor is yours.
Love it. Love it.
Hey, Gene, I got a question for you. Yeah. So what's a good text to send out? So would be the starting point of someone that you were trying to reach out to?
Thank you, Angel, for the question. There's 2 things. If I know them, if I've done a transaction with them, if I kind of know them, it's kind of a different text. It's just kind of like, hey, Angel, how's things going? Just want to talk about the market with you. I really don't want to hit them hard with EXP in the beginning. My text is always personal if I know them. Okay. And if I don't know them, I tell you what, I don't like the bait and switch. I will actually text them and tell them, Leo, you've always been put on a pedestal at RE/MAX with me. I got to tell you, if anybody hasn't explained EXP to you, I'd love to meet with you next week and give it a shot. I mean, I would do something like that. Now, again, I'm not really big in text in scripts, because when I teach on the East Coast, I have to use the F word. Just so you know, when I do this in certain parts of the country, they go, "Gee, you don't tell them what the F's going on, man." I said, whoa. I come from the South. We don't talk like that. So scripts, use it with your personality, Angel. Does that make sense? Make sure they know it's you. It's not a script, it's you. Okay. Let me give you a formula for contracts. I've used this forever and it will work. 3 days after you close on the home, here's what you text them. Angel, it was great working with you. I can't believe we closed that 1922 Big Skies. I want to say thank you, Angel. Can we meet next Tuesday at 9 o'clock at the Starbucks? I want to give you a small gift of appreciation. Just so you know, everybody will show up for a gift.
Yeah.
I want to ask all of you guys, how many agents have called you or texted you from another company saying, I want to give you a gift after the closing? Okay. I'm telling you, I've been teaching this forever. If you do this one thing, it will change your world. I've had people that have not recruited for 9 years and they don't even know what to say. And I said, just do this one thing. Well, they said, okay, what do I do on Tuesday? Tuesday, show up with a gift. They go, what is the gift? I don't care. There's women on this. They're going to do better than the guys. I got news for you. I don't know gifts. I text my wife, what should I give? She said, oh, give them this. It could be a book you recently read, right? It could be something that, if you're religious, I don't care. I don't mind spreading religion nowadays. If something affecting religious, I might bring a book that affected me religiously to someone. I don't know. Didn't even really matter if I know they're religious. I might go, this book was good. Now, what do you say at the meeting? Thank you. It was awesome. You know what's weird nowadays, Angel? We never get to meet each other. I mean, I've seen you on, I talked to you a few times. We never even really did a Zoom. All I did was text, email. It's a crazy world we live in, isn't it? We never get to meet each other. I don't know about you, Angel, but I kind of miss meeting people. Talk family, talk business. Talk family, talk business. I have no problem talking family. I have no problem talking business. How's it going? Everybody, I taught this years ago to a guy. I'm just telling you, 20 years. And he goes, Gene, I don't know what to say. And I said, I know you have not been saying anything for 10 years. You're an expert at saying nothing because you never even talk about it. So here's what I want. He goes, what do I do when they ask? You go, I don't know. I really don't know. Because they might say, how do you like it at EXP? The first thing I would do when they say, how do you like it at EXP? Don't go into full board EXP. Here's what I want you to do. Don't. This is where you go wrong. Profit share, stock. What I want you to do when they say, how do you like it at EXP? You go, I love it. Oh my God, Leo, Leo is given, I'll tell you what, I've probably had more training here than I've ever had anywhere else. My business is almost doubled. How do you like it at Compass? And then I shut up. God, I'm really good. I'm really good at listening. But if you keep talking, you don't give them a chance to talk. So this happened, and this guy, I call it my Trey Williams technique. He called me from Starbucks and he goes, Gene, they want to meet with you. They don't, because I was the manager at that time at Keller Williams. I said, cool, set up a meeting and I'll meet with them. So when they say, I really want to know about EXP, you go, what's really funny is every Tuesday, my team with Leo, we do an EXP explained every Tuesday. And we do it, it's called a lunch and learn. We do it over at this hotel. It's a free lunch. If you want to get the straight scoop, can you come next Tuesday? That's why lunch and learns work. Because now, rather than you doing the whole presentation there at Starbucks, when you were going to meet them for 15 minutes, you can have a place to do it either in person at a lunch and learn or on the internet with a really good webinar. Okay. I would set those up immediately if you don't have them in your area. Guys, I don't care if 2 people come to my EXP Explained I did it every Wednesday for 3 years in Austin. Every Wednesday, 11:30 to 1 o'clock. And I'll get into detail when you guys want to do lunch and learns exactly how to do them. They're not that hard, but the key is to be what? Consistent. You got to be consistent. Sometimes 2 people would show up, sometimes 5 people. It got bigger. And then your agent started inviting, and all of a sudden it was 15, all of a sudden it was 20. And then all of a sudden within about a year, I was doing them with 50 people in a row. It builds momentum. Okay. Great question, Angel. Great question. Because, you know, quite honestly, texting people, I mean, you guys are better than me. You're sales agents. I mean, I would just text them and go, hey, I've got a really exciting thing I want to talk to you about. Boom. When they text you back, what is it? You know what? It's crazy. This downturn has not affected me. EXP's rev shares has saved my life. Love to share it with you. Because they don't really know what it's about. By the way, you want happy people. You want happy people. Yeah, hey.
Hi, it's Belia.
Hey.
Question.
Hey, Belia.
So I have one of my guests on the Zoom and she is on the fence. She's thinking about it. Her name's Laura, but just sharing from your experience when someone, well, I guess you heard about it and then you made the decision. What made you decide, having been in a leadership role, being regional director at KW for what, 20 years and then 12 years as a manager at KW? What was it that, what did you see?
Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. For everybody, it's different. For me, I'm very analytical. You probably can't tell it because I love sales, but I used to be a CFO for corporations before I got into real estate. So I have to prove everything with numbers first. It took me 5 months of research. Now you got to understand, EXP was super small when I joined. It had 300 agents. There was a lot of research I had to do. I had to make sure that that company was real, that we all were going to get common shares. There's a lot of companies out there right now saying, hey, we're going to go public, but they're not public yet. Or they're going to say, you're going to get shares, but you know, there's a lot of weird stuff going on out there. So when I researched EXP, this is a true story. I pulled the profit share for Keller Williams in 2014 for the whole company. Guess what percentage of the agents were making, and I picked this number because in Texas, this can affect lives, $3,000 a month or more. $36,000 a year, $3,000 a month or more. I just picked that number. I wanted to see how many people were getting that at Keller Williams. I want you guys to just guess, hold up with your hands or whatever. What percentage do you think out of 140,000 agents were making that?
100%.
What percent? What'd you say, Angel?
A half a percent.
0.5%. Good guess.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. 0.5% or 1%.
See, when I asked, there you go. Yeah, Jose. When I asked the KW people, and I was one of them, I bled red. I thought it would be 5%, 10%, at least. No, I'll talk to you later. I'm on a call. Thank you. Oh, do you? I'll talk to you later. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Gracias. Okay, anyway. What were we talking about, Leo? What do we have?
You were saying the story about how much the percentage was.
So literally, I'm so analytical, Belia. I'm so analytical. I thought for 21 years I was helping Keller Williams agents get profit share, which would affect their lives.
You were going to give the answer, Gene.
Yeah.
You were going to
give the answer out of 140,000 agents, it was 242 agents.
Wow.
Wow.
That
Okay,
was a good,
it was-
it was a good
It wasn't
illusion
even
for
a half a
recruiting.
percent, Angel. It wasn't even a half a percent.
Wow.
So when I did that, I looked at Susan, I said, I thought I was helping people. Why aren't they making what is the problem? Well, profit share, the fallacy with that model is it's a tiny number. It's called profit. So if there's no profit in the office, there's no profit share. And 30%, right? And a lot of people look at Christy. I'm not surprised. But here's the thing. The team leaders and owners knew it somewhat, but the agents didn't. When I ask agents that on an interview, you know what they'll say? 10%, 20%. I go, no, it was all the regional directors, team leaders, hardly an agent in there. There's hardly an agent of the 242. So I started looking at this rev share model. Guys, I'm a numbers dude. I'm a numbers dude. I mean, if you get 40 people on your first that of course got to do they're an FLQA, and you have 40 on your second, 40 on your third, they all get one. I mean, I did 40 times 7 is 280. 280 times our payout is like $640,000. I went, whoa, 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 whoa. I only need to get 40 and they all got to get one. They got to get one. See, I didn't do big numbers. I just went, I can do that. I can do that. So what caused me to do it, and plus, here's the thing, you guys know Susan and I, Leo does really well. I did this for you guys. I don't even know you yet, but I did it for agents. I knew what I could make, but if I can't help you go get people, I don't change your life. Okay. So realistically, I finally figured out the KW model did not work for agents to have any type of a way out, any type of, right now we're in a downturn, right? We've had 10 years of good stuff. And now all of a sudden the downturn happens, man, there's like 0.15% of 1%. There's 15% of 1% of the agents that are maybe at Keller Williams are going, I'm okay. I got $3,000 a month coming in. I can make my house payment. If you guys have not seen my napkin presentation on the 6x6 and the 10x10, go look at it tonight and memorize it. 6x6, 10x10, 6x6 gets them $3,000 a month. 10x10 gives them $15,000 a month. Boom, I can affect agents' lives. Go look at it, guys. That's how I explain it to agents. I try not to oversell rev share. I just tell them that, look, there's a way out.
Where can we get that 6x6 and that 10x10? Your napkin.
Go to YouTube. Good question, Jose. Go to YouTube. I know you guys have YouTube. Put in the name Gene Frederick. Believe me, it comes up 2 million times. Leo will send it to you, but I've got it. People have recorded me so many times doing it because they just recorded me a week ago or a couple weeks ago in Phoenix. I try to do it as many times so you guys can record it. I literally tell agents I can affect their lives. All they have to do is get 6 cappers on the first level, 6 cappers on the second. Minimum, they'll be making $3,000 a month. That's 12 agents. Can we do that in 3 years, 2 years? Yes. Now, you guys are the special people. Why? Because you're on this call.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Hi, thank you. So something that I'm coming across a lot, especially in my area, there's a lot of brokerages that basically took the same model and they're new and they're recruiting people, and I'm getting a lot of people that are saying like, hey, well, we talked to these people and they said we would probably make more money here because we're at the top. And, basically we're at the top of the pyramid here where EXP, it's already so spread thin. So at that point, what I say is like, look, it's about, I have a little bit of a social media presence. So I just say like, hey, look, I'm able to help push your brand, push you. Same thing with, I'm under Gabe. So like Gabe and I have a pretty good social media presence. So that's kind of how I've been able to like rebuttal that. But what else would you recommend?
Well, let me tell you, it's really, there's 2 companies that are kind of copying us. And by the way, let me talk about copying and then I'll tell you it's Real and LPT. There's 2 companies, Real and LPT. Okay. I'll show you how to show that. Oh man. So anyway, I'll show you how to have that conversation, but you need to be one-on-one with them, right?
Okay.
Or on a Zoom. You can't just go, you can't do it in a short conversation. What you want to do on the first conversation is, of course, go, hey, let's set up another time. I'd love to show you that in detail, why we're different. Because we are totally different than those two companies. Totally different. Okay.
Yeah.
And those are the two that I deal with. Everybody I recruit now says, I'm talking to you, I'm talking to Rio. I'm talking to you, I'm talking to Rio. So I'll give you that.
Corcoran, the owners of Corcoran, or some of the Corcorans out here, they all got together and they started a new one, which somebody just texted in the chat box, called Pack. And they're kind of going after everyone that I was going after. And so that's, I'm getting the conversations, but and they have like amazing coaches and leaders, but they have no social media influence. So that's kind of what I try to say, like, hey, look, we have a large social media influence. Everybody knows who EXP is, and we already have a track record, but it's kind of, it's still like they're very well known. The people themselves are very well known. So I just don't know like what else to say.
Well, there's somebody on there. Okay. Here's what I want you to do. Number one, always set up another appointment. Don't try to do it in one. Tell them you want to get them on with Leo or myself or other people or someone who can really share with them the differences.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be number one. Don't do it all yourself. This is the biggest thing I have with people. They don't use me enough. They don't use Leo enough. They don't use the top people here enough on three-way Zooms.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to be real. That'd be number one. Number two, with I've said this a lot lately. The franchise model was started in 1971 by Century 21. It actually it was a revolutionary model because everybody else was mom and pops. Guess who copied Century 21? Remax, Keller Williams, Coldwell Banker. In other words, they're not the only franchise. Better Homes and Garden, people did franchises. HomeSmart, Realty One. A lot of people have copied the franchise model.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That is why I know we're a game changer. We're a game changer because guess what? People are copying us. People are copying us. In other words, if we weren't the new broker model that's going to take off and be here 10 years from now, we wouldn't have people copying us. I would start with that person.
Okay.
So in other words, yes, so-and-so, they've got their group of people and they're copying what we do. Here's the thing. We have a huge big time advantage. Being 13 years old, being almost 90,000 agents, being on NASDAQ. And I want to share with you the advantages and the things that we have that they're going to all have to duplicate.
Okay.
How many people have copied Amazon?
I don't know. None?
You got, who else do you use?
Nobody.
Okay, we're first in. We're first in. Believe me, those other companies, they will still, by the way, I don't think they're going to go away. I don't think they're going to go away if they do it right. I know a lot of I know people at Real, they're really trying hard. They've got good people. The key thing is we're so far ahead. We are so far ahead with our technology. We are, guys, I've been here 7.5 years. Believe me, we have done a lot with our technology, with our support. We have 2,100 employees. I mean, we have done so well at creating something that's going to be the leader in our industry. But I tell people, nobody copied, guess what? I guess how many people copied the Keller Williams profit share model? See? So it wasn't a game changer. It wasn't the model. It was just a franchise model with a different deal. In other words, and here's what I tell people. When's the last time you were in JCPenney's? I'm going to ask the women. Forget the guys. They don't even shop.
True.
But the women, when's the last time you were in JCPenney's? Sears.
I can't even remember. Zero. I don't
No,
know.
okay. All I do is I go home every night and there's 3 boxes outside my front door because my wife decided she needed something, right? This is why I made the decision. I'll go back to what you said. Why did you make the decision, Gene? I knew that the company of the future was going to be virtual, was going to have no bricks and mortar. Guys, why am I not worried about the downturn at EXP and everybody else is really worried? We don't have any rent. We don't have rent. Man, you ought to tell people, your company still has an office? You've got to be kidding. Do you understand that owner's is struggling right now? That owner's gonna, sales have just gone down by 30 or 40%. I guarantee you they weren't, that income, boom, they're hurting. Everybody's cut staff. So I tell them, look, we were primed for this model. In fact, I told Glenn Sandford when I first joined, I hope the downturns in 2017. They predicted it'd be in 2017. I said, could, because when the downturn happens, that's when I'm going to bust it. Because that's when agents move. And they move quicker in downturns than they do in good times. I've already been there.
Yep.
How many downturns have you been through, Gene, again?
Just four. Just four. This is my 4th one. My first one was in 1985. We lost half the realtors in Texas in 4 years. Half the realtors in Texas from 1985 to 1989 went away. I survived. Okay. That was a major downturn. Then I went through 2000 and 2001. That was the .com crash. Then I went through 2006, really 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It did not come out of it till 2012. Believe me, when you go through downturns, I'm excited. Why am I excited? Because now agents will talk to me. Now brokers of other companies will talk to me, guys. Won't they, Leo? Man, I'm flooded with brokers. With brokers.
Calls.
Yeah. So talk to those small brokers in your area, 25 agents, 50 agents, 100 agents. When their production goes down by 30%, do you guys know what NAR is predicting for next year? NAR is predicting that we'll lose 30% of our agents next year. Just 30%. Now, why I know it's real, that it's going to happen, is because I've been through 3 other ones. I've already been through where, because if realtors only sell 1 or 2 homes, they can't make a living, they go away. Why I'm excited about EXP is we have experienced agents. We really do have a ton and ton and ton, really heavy. We're top heavy. We're top heavy. I'm not worried. Are we going to lose the ones that don't sell very much? Yes. Just like any other real estate company. Don't worry about keeping them. Send them to the referral company that we have. Have them keep their license, send them to the referral company. Okay. And they'll come back when the market starts getting strong again.
Hey, Gene, I had a quick question and a comment I think that would contribute to the conversation. So how many people, even like, let's just say it, because a lot of these models that are copying us, they're just copying one attribute of our company, right? They're copying the revenue share. How many people take advantage of the revenue share here at EXP? And which ones come over? How many do you think come over because of that at our company?
Right now, there's only 12% of our people are getting revenue share. 12%. In fact, you guys are part of the 12%. You're the people I'm talking to on a regular basis. But 12% of 86,000 agents, that's all we need. Just so you know, most of the people come mainly because to sell more real estate, to get more training, to be in a different environment, and to get stock. Stock is a game changer for a lot of people, guys. I just had lunch with a guy in San Juan today. He says, Gene, I was an icon last year. Man, he put his chest out. I was an icon last year. He goes, I just wrapped my car in Florida and I put icon on it. And he goes, people stop me and go, what's that mean? He goes, it's just a great company. It's a starter, right? He's got 2 cars wrapped because he sells in 2 different states. But we've got a lot of pride. We've got a lot of culture. I would say our culture is just phenomenal. I mean, we're helping each other because we all own stock together. I think the stock keeps us together. And I think the rev share gives the people like us that want to get extra income coming in and have residual an avenue to get out.
Hey, Gene, I got a comment. So I got a call as soon as the announcement went out. I'm getting calls from everybody because I'm in my area. I'm extremely well known, and everybody's, and I've been yesterday I was on a panel and on a podcast. Everybody's asking, why did you move over? So my answer, the reality is I see the future. You know, I see things happening. We have over what, 3 million realtors here in the United States. There's a lot of realtors. Even if we lose 30%, there's still a lot of agents available. So it's a numbers game. It's just like when you go on a listing appointment, it's a numbers game. You know, you're going to ask someone, they're going to tell you no, and you just ask the next person, but you follow up. You have to create a follow-up system. But that's why I was asking you on the texting side of it. In my world, it's always been texting. And then what follows is a call that comes right back to me. So on that note, there's enough. I sat with Rio, actually called me. He sent me, one of the guys sent me a video, but he bought one of my products, but then he sent me a video and it gave me a breakdown on exactly how it was. But there's very few agents can do that. It's like Leo. When Leo sends over a presentation, it's so well broken down. So actually, Leo right now is our leader. You can help all of us. If we need someone, he puts the graphs together and within seconds, he sends it over. And that's what that gentleman did. They only have, he was telling me, 7,000 agents. But yes, I realize they're trying to do a mock-up of what EXP has. But EXP at the moment has such a momentum, it has everybody kind of scared. On the panel, when I was walking out, there was a KW, hey, Leo, your old KW downstairs at Cerritos. As I'm coming out, you know, they all saw me and the team leaders came out and they all started to talk to me. And they were asking me, why are you EXP? What's going on? And I kind of said the future is this, and the future, I believe, is influencers, blah, blah, blah. So Monica, I think you're on the right track. Even if you don't convert those guys, it don't matter. There's a whole bunch of other ones. I think you need to start looking at a different market that people will follow you. Don't stick in the same market. Let them go. When they fail, they'll come back to you as they see you succeed. That's my opinion. Right, Gene?
Angel's awesome. Angel's my new best friend. Just so you know.
He's gonna be your new best.
He's either Angel or on hell. I don't know, but it's Angel.
No, Patty's my wife. She's in the background. There she is.
Yeah.
So I do want to echo Gene. You know, I've been with the company only 90 days. And I came in directly with Leo. The culture is something that's really drawn to me. Angel, I know, how long have you been with us now? Angel?
Week and a half.
A week and a half, and I'm already attending his classes on how they do 200 listings a year. It's amazing how much everybody shares how they do business and grow their business in their market. You know, not even being directly under his team. It's just a culture and I love it. That's one thing that I really love. I've been on so many training meetings from top producers that are sharing openly, and they'll share, you know, letters they use for listings, you know, whatever it takes. And so that we can be, you know, doing the same thing in our market, because I'm in Northern California. But thank you, Angel.
Belia, you know, thank you for saying that. There's two things I want you to get from what both these people have said. Number one, the stock is a game changer. First of all, I tell all my people, push the button and do 5% at a 10% discount. It turns you into an owner. When you're an owner of a real estate company, we all treat each other different. 1994 is when I joined Keller Williams. Didn't get any stock from Gary Keller. If he would have given me stock in 1994, I'd still be there. If Dave Liniger would have given me stock in RE/MAX in 1986, still be there. The key, when you said there's a great culture of giving, it's because we all own it together. It's the first time. It's a game-changing vehicle. It's the new way to do brokerage. Everybody's going to have to give stock to everybody. They don't get it yet. They don't get it yet. Keller Williams still doesn't give stock. You know, Coldwell Banker still doesn't give stock. RE/MAX still doesn't. Nobody at RE/MAX, the agents do not own their stock. So they don't get it. The other thing is that I want you to take down for what these guys said. Recruiting real estate agents is a long-term game. Write it down. Long-term game. It is not a short term. If you're thinking I'm going to call 10 people, just so you know, the first 20 people I called, and I'm a professional, they were friends of mine from Keller Williams. The first 20 people I called, every single one of them said no. Every single one. Why are you going to that company with 400 agents? What's EXP stand for? Oh my God, I hate that logo. Oh my gosh. You know, I heard everything, right? And most of them were scared to come to a company with 400 agents. Okay. Of the 20, I think 18 are with us now. That's 7.5 years of recruiting the same people. You just keep them on your list. That's why I said you need a list, and I want to see it next time I see you at one of our events. You go, Gene, here's my notebook. I got my list. And you know what? I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. They might not come for 5 years. I could care less. I don't drill. I don't hammer them. What I want to do is have a bigger list than everybody. And I do, just like Angel said, I text them. I text them. I text them. I text them and text them and text them and text them and text them. It's been 7.5 years of texting with me. And what's kind of cool is everybody goes, how many times do you text? Are you kidding me? I got 5 calls today from some guy named Mr. Risk. Spam Risk. I mean, are you kidding? Mr. Spam Risk calls me 5 times a day. I mean, all I know is everybody goes, well, how often? I said, well, how about all the freaking time? Because everybody's contacting me all the time. I would text them at least, if you like them, I'd text them once a week. If you really like them and they're hot, text them once a day, every other day. Say, this just happened. This just happened. You know, we just got the #1 agent from Quebec, Canada. #1 agent from Quebec, Canada. I saw the post. I send that out. #9 in all of Canada. Boom. Who is the one from this week? There was another one from this week. Just joined Success Coaching. You know, what I do is when I get posts like that, I just send them out. Social media, right? But I do it by texting. I'm not on Facebook. After this call, do not contact me on Facebook. I will not respond to you. My wife is on Facebook. Her name is Susan Frederick. You can friend Susan Frederick, and I'll tell her to friend you. You will know everything we eat and everything we do. Just so you know.
Gee, this is Patty.
Hey, Patty.
Hi. So like Angel was telling you yesterday, we were on this panel. We had a busy day yesterday and stuff. And, you know, like Angel said, a lot of people were approaching us, you know, why go EXP? Well, one gal that I ran into, you know, she was kind of interested, but she asked me, you know, Patty, why you know, and why you guys did the change, you know, and she's looking into it. Well, she kind of put mine because we're new at this, you know, like Angel said, we've only done this for what, a week and a half. So we're not really, at least I'm not too familiar yet with numbers and stuff like that. So I couldn't really back up what I was saying to the point where, well, we joined EXP because it was, you know, it was a good thing for us. It's got a lot of benefits to it and the whole bit. But how do you explain to somebody, especially being in my position, because Angel and I were getting actually approached a lot right now, believe it or not. And I didn't know what to tell her. But I'm really good at recruiting. I'm really good at talking to people because that's my nature. I'm such a people's person, but I didn't know how to explain to her, well, you got to join EXP because, you know, the numbers, this and that. I don't know the numbers yet. I'm not familiar with this. You know, we have to call Leo right now to help us implement. But what would you say, being in my shoes right now, to try to, because you only have, like Angel says, my husband always says, you only have a few seconds or a few to hold on to that person and yank them in. Well, yesterday.
Well, here's what you do. Here's my elevator speech. First of all, when people say, why did you join? Just so you know, my wife and I used to argue about this. That's like saying, how's the weather? When I say this, if you come out and spute why you joined, I think it's the incorrect thing to do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When they say, why did you join? You go, boy, great question, Sonia. I'm so glad you brought that up. People are joining for multiple reasons. Can I set up an appointment next Tuesday at 8:30 to show you all the reasons people are joining? I mean, what I try to do is go for an appointment, because here's the thing. I don't tell them why I joined, because they're going to join for different reasons. We already told you that 88% of the people don't join because of rev share. They really don't. They think they might, but they really don't join because of that. They join because of training, coaching. They're going to get in a better environment. They're going to have all the other, it all revolves around real estate. Let me give you an example. What I mean by this, so they'll bring it home. If somebody came up to you today and Leo's a member of the Los Angeles Country, I'm just going to say Los Angeles Country Club. I don't even know the name of the country clubs. And I want to join the Los Angeles Country Club. And I ask Leo, well, you ask me, Leo, you ask me that why you join.
Gene, why are you part of the Los Angeles Country Club? Can you tell me the reasons, please?
Oh, Leo, there's so many things we do. Can I ask you, what do you like about the country club? What are you interested in?
You know, I like the scenery. I think there's pretty cool people here. It looks interesting. I'm interested to learn more.
Are you going to be more a social member? Or are you going to play golf or tennis? What are your interests? Why are you and your wife wanting to join the country club?
You know, I love golf, and I have a really good friend named Gene, and he's going to teach me how to golf too at a higher level. And so would love to golf more.
So what I do is say, why do you want to join the country club? If they ask me, why did you join the country club? And I'm a golfer, I said, well, I'm a golfer. And they go, oh, that's weird. And then you ask them later and they kind of look at you because they're tennis players. They go, we don't do golf. We're pickleball players, my God. You know? So in other words, I've quit. It's not about why you joined. Believe me, guys, I've been on Zoom, I've been on one-on-ones where the person leaves and doesn't even know why I joined. I never go into my story.
Yeah.
It's all about them.
Yes.
It's all about them. Now, I like Angel's talk when he says, I just think it's the wave of the future. I think it's the future real estate company. In fact, it's taken off like crazy since 2018. At the end of 2018, we had 15,000 agents. At the end of this year, we'll have close to 90,000 agents. 4 years. 4 years, write it down. 15,000 to 90. Never been done in the history of real estate. Now, see, I'm a numbers guy. So the numbers guy in me goes, I got to tell him a stupid number, right? I really don't. You could probably just say, we've grown faster than anybody. But to me, I have to prove it to myself. So I said, we've grown from 15 to 90 in 4 years. Nobody has done that in the history of real estate. Would you like to know why?
Yes. Yep. One of the things that I will say with that is like indirect reflection to that, guys. It's like if a seller contacted you and said, Patty, why should I list with you? What's your commission? What are you going to say?
Hey, it's negotiable.
But you're most likely
you're most likely
going to set up an appointment. You're not going to try to
do it right then.
You can't. I got to demonstrate. I got to show you. And I'm on the run. I just got off this panel and I got to go to my next meeting. I would love to talk to you about it.
Yeah, she caught, she's really interested. I'm really good about recruiting. I'm really good about, it's like Angel says, my Patty is the people's person. She's the one that talks to everybody. But, I'm on the roll right now recruiting and stuff and talking to people. But because I'm so new at this, I don't know how to approach it yet because I'm not educated in it. So I don't want to lose that person. But, you kind of just gave me an idea. And all I'm saying right now is, you know what? It's got a lot to offer for the future for us. It's all we can really say. And I hear Angel saying that. So I'm learning from that. But, it's you only have a few seconds. That happened to me yesterday because everybody was coming up to us yesterday and approaching us. And they're like going, wow, why did you guys do that? Like, wow. And so it's
How about this one? How about this one? Deflect it from you and say, hey, Susie, if you knew you could get in on Amazon in 1997, would you do it?
Good comeback.
And they'll go, what do you mean? You go, I feel like I'm at Amazon in 1997. Come over and I'll show you the reasons why. I'm serious. And be passionate about it. Say, I got to tell you about it. Right.
That's a real good one, Gene, because I literally, I've been through 4 cycles just like you, right? And everybody, the reason they bring me on is they want to know, how is it that I've been able to survive all recessions and never file BK and never lose a property? So during this conversation, they asked me, I said, this is my response. That's how when I say, right after I come up a panel, I tell them, you know, I think this is it, but you just gave me a better answer. You know,
Yeah,
wouldn't you wish you invested in Amazon? Well, this is what I see. This is the next move. Thank you. That's a good takeaway.
I like that. I think that's going to be my response from this point on till I really, really learn the system.
Yep.
Yeah, perfect, guys. Here's my thing, guys. Here's another one I like. Watch this one. You know what I've heard, Leo? I've heard, give me objections that you hear all the time from people. Just give me one of them. You're a pyramid, whatever.
Yeah, you're a
Everybody-
pyramid. You got
Whoa, Leo, you just said we're a pyramid. Let me put that off to the side. Let me write that down. We're a pyramid. What else have you heard?
You know what, man? I don't know if I want to get 80%, man. I'm at 90% right now.
Okay. All righty. What else? What have you heard from people that you think
You know, there's no
Don't
broker.
really have an office.
There you go.
don't have an office? What else? What else? And I get all of their objections. I don't answer each one. A lot of times they say, I heard everybody at your company is a recruiter, that you guys don't sell real estate. I get that one all the time.
Yeah.
I heard you guys don't sell real estate. You're just a bunch of recruiters. I said, let me write that down. Yeah. What else? And I write them all down. I go, let me tell you, Christy, because I like how Christy looks rather than Leo. Let me tell you, Christy, if you were going to buy a Tesla, would you go to the Ford dealer to ask questions about the electrical Tesla? I think you've been talking to the Ford dealer. Everything you've said makes no sense to me. Everything you just said, pyramid, we're not. Oh my gosh. You know, you have to recruit to be here? No. And I said, it's all a bunch of bunk, but I think you've been talking to your manager. Have you talking to Bob? Have you been talking to Bob lately about us? It's amazing. I think the Ford dealer does. Why don't you just come to the Tesla and I'll tell you all about it. How about we set up an appointment next Tuesday? I do that all the time. You know, in other words, get all their objections at once. Don't try to be the perfect objection handler. Right?
I love that.
That's what I do. I'm really good at this. And a lot of times what you're going to do is have your questions when you do interviews, have your questions written down ahead of time. Get Leo on, let him do the presentation 2 million times so you can see him do it. And you'll get better and better and better. Don't be scared of talking to people because you haven't done the presentation.
Yep, exactly, guys. I got your guys' back. You know, any appointment you guys have, plug me in. I am ready. I got 40 slots on my calendar available a week.
Just 40.
Just 40. Yeah.
I just sounds like we overwhelm Leo with calls and stuff. And Leo, I got this person I want to recruit and stuff and everything. But you know, it's like I said, I can't back myself up because I can't explain it to him. I don't know details about this whole thing yet. We're barely learning as we go. But that was a good comeback. I like your response. You know, and that's what we're gonna have to do till we get, because you know, the thing is that you don't want to lose the top person yesterday.
And Patty,
Let me give you something. Let me give you something versus real. And I take a notebook. I don't have a notebook with me, I'm sorry. But I take a notebook and I said, let me explain to you the big differences. And I do real on one side and us. Do you know they only have 5 levels? Do you guys know that?
No, that I do.
They only go down 5 levels. So I put their 5 levels and I put our 7. And then I go, if you get 20 people on the first, they all get 2. That's 40. They all get 2. You know, that's 80. And then, 160. And I go down and I go, now, as you do that, there's no level 6 and 7 at their company. And I turn around and I show it to them. I said, you're going to miss out on almost all the income you'll ever want to get. And just so you know, right now, I've been at XP 7.5 years. 84% of my income comes from level 6 and 7. So if I was at Real, I'm minus 84% of my income. I just flat out tell them, I go, this is a long game. This recruiting thing's a long game. And why they went with 5, I have no idea. I would have gone with 10. I would have gone with more levels than less levels. And then they go, but they're $12,000 cap, we're 16. I go, that's only 4K. You'll make that up in rev share in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I do. I don't spend a lot of time on it other than I show them that. I show them, and I'll do it on a Zoom and I'll go, look at this, man. Are you kidding? Guys, my level 6 and 7, because I have 20% of the whole company from EXP I'm getting paid on.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's all, just 20%. Now, when I say that, it's just the start for me. It's like that. In a downturn, what happens is people get out. The people that get back in are going to be the ones that are going to make it, or the people that are staying. 25% of NAR makes more than $100,000 a year. 25%. I want to talk to every single one of them. If you talk to experienced people, you'll have great fun. If you talk to brand new people, which you can, go do it if you want to. The problem is you got more questions. That's all I'm telling you. A lot of people
Gene, I
get
got a
frustrated. I
question.
got 30 people and they're all brand new and it's driving me crazy. I said, well, guess what?
Gene, I got a question for you.
Sure.
I know there's a lot of different brokerages, and so everybody has a different concept, kind of like what you said, hey, everybody kind of copied Century 21. I know that Mike Sherrard had like a comparison of Compass, and he broke it down on his YouTube video. Do you guys have, by any chance, like, because obviously you have so many different brokerages and you got a lot of independence. And so just objection handlings that you have, and then things that were like, for instance, Coldwell Banker is always going to have a certain amount of split. So you're never going to be 100%. And so you're going to give your split and it's not making you any money. It's just benefiting the company. So just wondering if you had any of those.
I don't use them. Here's why.
No.
Here's why I don't use them. I've never done T-charts. The only thing I've done with Real is that one thing, to show that there's no level 6 and 7. I've never done a T-chart, the Ben Franklin close, right? Where you go, here's the benefits here, here's the benefits here. Never have done it in my recruiting career. Here's why. I tell them, we are the future of real estate, because everybody's going to be virtual because we've cut out half the expenses. The other thing we've done, by the way, that's key. When you cut out half the expenses of the brokerage model, the second thing is we've given stock to our agents, and 70% of our stock is owned by real estate agents, our agents. So guess what? We have agents that are owners. To me, agents are the owners in our company. Are the agents the owners at Coldwell Banker? Are the agents at the owner? You know what I mean? If they're not the owners, they can't compete with us. I really believe that everybody else is a corporate structured model, tops down, and we're agent run, agent owned. Go check out my some presentations I've done. I show it very quickly in person and show you how to show it, because quite honestly, we're a whole different model than Compass. I don't even put us in the same sentence as Compass. Compass is like the old-fashioned model, man. Boom.
Yeah.
Corporate tops down, baby. They just are. I don't see any difference between corporate Compass and Coldwell Banker, Century 21.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this people do business with people they like, know, and trust, and this is a relationship game, right? So we got to move them away. As much as we think that people are making logical decisions, they're not. It's a relationship game, right? And like Gene said, right, this is a relationship building. It's a long-term play. Angel, Jose in here, Marty Lou in here, Ismael Chavez. I think on average it was about 4 years. These guys are all here, right? But it was 3 to 4 year play. It's not going to happen like overnight.
Yeah, I was shocked when I saw Jose Perez EXP. I go, what?
Well, I use everybody's name. It took me a year and a half It took me a year and a half to get an icon.
Angel,
It took me
I
a
thought
year
the
and a
same when
half
I
to get
saw.
an icon. Everybody goes, oh my gosh. See what's really, somebody said, why is EXP the name or whatever? The reason Glenn chose EXP in the beginning, because it could be trademarked in 50 states. That was brilliant. Seriously.
He told us
You
that at
wanted to pick
shareholders.
a name that you could be trademarked in all 50 states.
Hey, Angel, Patty, I thought the same when I saw you guys come over, and I'm excited that you guys are here. And it's okay to tell people that you're new, but also tell them what was the biggest factors that brought you over. And I'm pretty sure it's a leadership, the contribution. We're not just operating on our own anymore. We get to show bigger pictures, a bigger platform. Never own stock for any company either. There's retirement for our agents. There's a lot of health benefits that they're getting at a discount. The revenue share model where we get to leverage ourselves and not have to be selling real estate the rest of our lives. There's so many different opportunities that EXP brings in. It's okay to tell them, hey, I'm new, but this is the reason why I myself joined. But what is it that you're looking for? Like Gene said, bring it back to them.
Yeah.
Hey, the other thing is Keller Williams. I was at Keller Williams for 21 years. I did everything at Keller Williams. They go, how can you compare it to Keller Williams? I said, I don't know. They go, what do you mean? I said, been gone 7.5 years. And they go, well, what's going on? I said, I have no idea what. Go interview with Keller Williams. I said, please go interview with Keller Williams. I have no idea what they're doing. Really? You don't want to compare? I said, no. Well, what about Compass? I have no idea what Compass is doing. I really don't. I don't know what Remax is doing. I've been gone since 1988, 89. So everybody goes, well, why do you compare? I said, I can't compare. I don't know what they are. Let me tell you, I'm going to share you everything about us, everything that we have. And like you said, some will come for insurance. Some will come. I have one I interviewed. I said, what are you looking for? It's what they're looking for. She goes, I've always done 15 million a year. I want to do 20 million a year. I said, how about if I take a contract right now with you and I'll coach you for 6 months? If you're not on track to doing 20 million, you can leave. She goes, okay, I'm in. I didn't tell her about RevShare. I didn't tell her about the stock. I didn't tell her about anything. The interview was like 15 seconds. She was the #1 agent for an independent in Austin, Texas. It's what they want, not what we want to tell them about us.
Yes.
It's about what they want. Once you find out what they want, you can start talking. Until you find out what they want, don't start talking.
Huge nugget.
Yeah.
Big questions I ask now is what excites you about EXP? What excites you about EXP? I want to hear it. What do they think is exciting? By the way, I read a lot of books, and that I got that from a book. I got that. I do a lot of TED Talks and a lot of I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I steal all this stuff because the word excite gets energy rather than, hey, what do you like? What don't you like? You know, what's keeping you from joining? What do you mean what's keeping you from joining? I never say that.
Yeah, it's not a good
You
question.
know, they're just bad questions.
Yeah.
What excites you about EXP? Well, here's what excites me, the fact that blah, 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 blah. And I write it down. And then I come back to it.
Yes.
Guys, I take a lot of notes when I interview people, even on a Zoom. They'll see me writing.
Jean, hi, this is Terry.
Hey, Terry.
I'm actually a former Corcoran employee. I'm now working under Leo. I'm his assistant, and I'm the director of onboarding for the whole team. I have agents that I'm reaching out to, and there's one agent that said we were under pressure to make a decision. And so we just moved. So she just moved to Berkshire Hathaway. What's a comeback on telling them, well, let me explain it to you, our model or something? What would you say? Because this just happened right now with the agent.
Well, just, you know, I don't put any pressure on anybody. I'd say, look, check it out. You know, unfortunately, I think you've gone back to JCPenney's. And I hit people between the eyes now because, you know, the bottom line is, I don't know where they were Corcoran before. Now they're going to Better Homes and Gardens. They could go to Sotheby's next week. They could go to Compass the next week. It's all the same. There's no difference in those companies. If they really want to be at the company of the future, they need to really hear it from us. If you're a good friend, you could do it with passion and tell them, you know, I'm not taking no for an answer. I'm going to meet with you in the next couple of weeks. If they're not a friend, just like Angel said, it's a game of texting, stay in touch. That's all you can do, guys. There's enough people out there now with their gate of change. You know what I mean? There's a gate of change.
Yep.
For everybody.
Thank you.
So I wait for people that their gates open. When their gates open to talk, those are the ones I'll talk to a lot. When the gate's not open, I just go somewhere else. This is a fun game of recruiting agents if you're talking to people that their gate's open.
Yes.
If the gate's open. If the gate's shut, it's like, well, what can I say? Can't say anything.
True.
Sorry.
Yeah, 4 years. Yeah.
That's only 4 years.
But then the gate was open, right? The gate was open in that moment. Shoot.
Once the gate's open, you come in and go, okay, now it's time to talk. I've talked to people 4 times, and one of them, she said, I got to be honest with you, Gene, I wasn't listening to the first 3. I said, so now you're going to listen, right? I can usually tell if they're listening or not sometimes, but sometimes they fool you. The key thing, guys, is have fun with it. Okay. I got to get going, Leo, I think.
Thank you, man. You've got, yeah, we went over the hour. I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you so much for taking the time. Love and appreciate you so much, man. Say hi to Susan for me. My Puerto Rican friend. Let's go.
See you guys. Have a good one. Have a good day.
Sounds good, guys.
Hey, Gene, real quick before you go, I know that you said that you read a good book. What's a good book you recommend that really helped you out, or maybe 2, 3 books, whatever?
I have so many books I've read through the years because I've read every book on leadership. I'd pick a good leadership book, a good book, other than maybe you'd probably think they would read. Go into a bookstore and get something really cool. I mean, I'd make it up to date. I mean, I've read them all. I'm a salesperson for 38 years. I've read all the Dale Carnegie and all the old stuff, but the new stuff is good too. I would just be creative. I like psychological books and things that kind of come from the heart. Really, quite honestly, lately I haven't read a few books. I've been redoing my home, so I got to go through my book collection and start getting more.
Hey, Gene, you should read the Everyday Hero Manifesto with Robin Sharma. Recommend that.
There you go. There's one. Use that one.
Yep. All right, guys. Cool.
See you guys.
Thank you so much for your time. Let's get out there and make something happen. If you guys need me to jump on some conversations, let's grow. Thank you, Gene.
Woo-hoo.
Appreciate you,
See you
brother.
guys.
All right.
Be good.
All right. Peace.